everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly look back at the hot comics from 6 months ago. This week we're looking back at the hot comics from May 16th, 2025, and I'm recording this on November 12th, 2025. Still fighting my little bit of a head congestion, so still fighting for my voice a little bit this week, so I apologize in advance. But as always, we're also looking back at the CBSI Hot Top 10 and the Comic Tom Key Collector Hottest Trending Comics of the Week. Each week they put out a list of 10 books that are moving in the market, that are jumping in value, that are jumping in sales. And we come back 6 months later to see how they're doing now, what factors were affecting them then, what factors are affecting them now. So we got 16 books to get through. I got a voice I'm struggling with. Let's get going. All right. First up, we got The Last of Us, American Dreams, #1. Season 2 was still coming out when this was hitting the list. $150 for raw copy, 9.8, 900. Now recent raw copies, 150 to 200. So that's actually a little bit of value. No recent 9.8 sales. 9.6 is 2 to 300. So we're going to call it steady. Lean toward I'll be back because the last 9.8 sale, which is a while ago, was definitely down. But the raws are doing pretty well. So we're going to call it steady and I'll be back. Still a lot of interest in this book. Still nowhere near what it was going for during season 1. All right, next we got Revival #1. This was hitting the list because the trailer dropped for the sci-fi show. I believe this first season is out. This was not one I went and watched. I think it got fairly decent reviews, and you can see here raw copies 15 to 35 back then, still 20 to 35 now. So that's very solid. 9.8 though, 130 to 140, now 50 to 90. So that's definitely a down. Borderline trap, probably is a trap on the 9.8. So overall, we'll just go down and I'll be back. Worth being patient on this. We'll see as we move further away if that'll pay off even on the raw side as well. Being patient. Next, we have the first of several versions of this book. We have Invincible Universe Battle Beast #1. Came out in a blind bag. I believe every copy was in a blind bag. I think. Pretty sure that you had to buy the blind bag and just didn't know what you were going to get. I don't know what all the ratios were. So the blind bags were $10 to $17 right out the gate. Now they're $5 to $15. So really pretty steady, pretty close to what they were. There are definitely some covers in there that go for quite a bit more, but for the most part, it's a pretty steady. The interesting thing is a lot of the ones that jumped initially were not actually even copies of the issue. They were reprints of other issues, or in this case, a preview of Battle Beast #2. So you could potentially get in the blind bag issue #2 and not get issue #1 and have to go get another blind bag. So yeah, they had an Invincible Universe Battle Beast #2 foil, advanced foil chase variant for the blind bags. This one was going for 10 to 30. It's now $5 to $10 book. 9.8, 30 to 50. So down in the trap on this one. This one was not one that's was worth that initial secondary pricing because eventually #2 came out. Next, we had a Marvel Team Up #14 foil reprint chase that was in the blind bags. This was going for 20 to 50 back then. Still doing 50 to 30, which is really, really good. 9.8, 60 to 80. That's really good for a new book. For a reprint, that's a lot. But down in and I'll be back. Borderline trap, but we'll go I'll be back because it does have some overlap with the low end from before. But yeah, down and I'll be back. Again, no reason to have immediately tried to buy this on the secondary. Next, we have Invincible #19. The foil reprint chase, and this is obviously first appearance of Battle Beast, a reprint of the first appearance of Battle Beast, $30 to $50 back then, now $5 to $15, 40 to 90 for 9.8, so dumpster fire there. That one is way down. Now the book that is not way down in the aftermath of both the show, season 3, and the release of this comic is the original Invincible #19, the first appearance of Battle Beast, 250 to 400 back then, or 430 back in the spring, 9.8, 6 to 900, 350 to 500, 750 to 900. So steady, worth it. Hasn't really jumped any, but it is definitely on the high end of what it was before. Still tons of interest in this first appearance of Battle Beast. It's a character people love. I don't know that he plays nearly as big a role in the series as what the value goes for, but it's a character that people love from the series. I don't think he's necessarily even really that important, but people love the character, and that's why, yeah, it still goes for big money. All right, next we had the hot indie of the moment. We had Exquisite Corpses #1. They had a polybag version with a gaming card included. I believe this is the cover. This is not the polybag. This is the cover that was in that polybag version. $7 to $17, 9.875 now. Raw copies 6 to 15. So steady, and I'll be back. Basically, slightly the top end, slightly lower, but otherwise basically the same price as it was back then. For raw copies. Next, we have Exquisite Corpses #1, the secret one per store foil variant. So people didn't know they were getting this. This was usually a one per store is about equivalent of 1 in 25. It was going for 50 to 76 right then. So that's double to triple ratio if you think about it as a 1 in 25. And this book is up. This is our only up and straight cash book of the week. $100 to $125 for this. 9.8, only one sale, 165. But yeah, Exquisite Corpses, I think people have really, really enjoyed this series. I still hear people talking about it this much later, which oftentimes you don't get for these kind of indies. Even the ones that have a lot of buzz initially, the vast majority of them, you never hear about again after that first issue. This is one I still hear about quite a bit. Next, we have New Teen Titans Annual #2, first appearance of Vigilante. We got a season 2 trailer. We knew he was going to be in the show for Peacemaker season 2. Peacemaker season 2 is come and gone. And basically the book is right where it was 6 months ago for all intents and purposes. You can do a little better on the low end, but yeah, it's sitting right there. We're only a month or so past the show. So no big surprise there that this ended up being steady. But still, there was no reason to necessarily chase in the moment either. Next, we have X-Men #49, first appearance of Polaris. And I know people like 50 is the one that really goes for big money. That's that whole, it's a cameo, even though she's in this book quite a bit. Well, she's in this book enough to really be the first appearance, but people want 50 instead. But anyway, this hit the list because we got news that they cast her for X-Men #97. A voice actress, Nev Campbell, actually is going to play Polaris in the new season of X-Men '97. 50 to 300 back then, 9.0, 600, 30 to 300 now, and I should say 9.0, not 9.8, for 500. So a little step back on the 9.0 value, but overall pretty steady on this particular book. And obviously, this is a Silver Age X-Men. So, I guess by then we might be into the bronze. What year was this? 68. So no, it's still silver. All right, next we got Avengers versus X-Men #1. Excuse me, I need a drink. Like I said, my voice is still struggling a little bit. This was hitting the list because rumors that this is, that we're going to get a X-Men versus Avengers MCU kind of fight in one of these upcoming crossovers, Doomsday or whatever. We're going to get a fight between the teams that all those characters, X-Men characters, are bringing back and everything else. That's the rumor. That's why this was hitting the list. $5 to $20 back then. 9.8, 130. Still a $5 to $20 book. Yeah, so it's steady. I'll be back. This book has a little bit of value anyway. It's maybe still slightly up because of just people think that we might get some version of this, but yeah, no reason to particularly chase this one. Next, we have Thanos Imperative Devastation, first appearance of the Annihilators team, and just rumors that we might get some version of this at some future date in the MCU. And but odds are they might be go by the Annihilators. There might be none of these characters. But anyway, people were chasing it. $10 to $20 back then. Now $5 to $18. So still another steady, and I'll be back. No reason to have chased, but yeah, it wasn't way overpaying. All right, next we have Alias #1, first appearance of Jessica Jones. And we got confirmed that she would be in season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. So that is why people were chasing this book. $50 to $90 back then. 9.8, 185, 200. Now 30 to 60. So raw copies have taken a little step back. 9.8, 150 to 250. So there was a higher sale, actually a couple higher sales on the 9.8 side. Overall, well, let's call this steady and I'll be back. You can definitely do a little better on the raw copies right now. Man, my voice is fading fast. All right, next we have Invincible #9, first full appearance of Riri Williams, and we got the trailer drop for Ironheart. Uh, and yeah, that show, I think people kind of liked it, but yeah, it didn't really. Ultimately, it hasn't done anything for this book or this character. People just aren't really interested anymore. 35 to 40, 9.8, 150. Now it's 10 to 25, 9.8, 50 to 110. Down in a Trap. Yeah, this, man, how this book has fallen from when we first got rumors she was going to be in Black Panther and everything else, and she was getting her own show, to now this book is just super cheap. So probably a great time to buy a copy of this book if you have any interest in this character. Great time to get a first, fairly, really, really affordable first appearance. Next, we got Doom #1 from 2024, written by Jonathan Hickman. This was a one-shot back then. It's been very popular, had value the whole time, but got a huge bump from being like a $20, $30 book to being a $40+ book. Although 9.8 didn't really show that with an $85 sale, because RDJ posted a photo of him reading this, and we all know who he's playing coming up, so that was why people are hitting the list. Still a $30 to $50 book, so it's kind of stayed. I mean, this book has went for a lot since it came out, just because. So it's been something people have chased pretty hard, and obviously, with knowing we're getting Doom and everything else, this book has not fallen off at all. All right, that is this week's list. I kind of flew through those, but like I said, struggling just a little bit. Let's do the quick recap first. So only one up book, that was The Exquisite Corpses. A ton of books that were very steady this week. And it seems like the last couple of months, we've had that proportion of steady has been climbing to being equal or even slightly more than down. So maybe there's a change happening in the market a little bit. I also think there's a lot of books that just aren't as hot. Like when they hit these lists, they're not really jumping in value as much as sales. It doesn't feel like anymore. So I feel like there's a little bit of just the way the hot lists are contributing this to what it takes to make the hot list anymore. I think is contributing to that. Down, obviously 5 of the books were down, with that Invincible 19 foil being the big loser this week. Quick shout out to my members. Appreciate you folks for supporting the channel, keeping me going. Cheers to all of you, and a big thank you. And with that, I'm going to get out of here before I lose my voice. So we'll catch you later. Bye.